In the past, it was very hard to believe that an object heavier than the air will ever fly, because people always use the comfort zone when thinking about things. They never have courage to step out of the ordinary and to do great things. However, it is not my business to talk about this today. The air conditioning, it is meant to control the heating and cooling inside your home. A conditioned air, it doesn't mean a cold air, it means to be conditioned. So now we're using heat pumps to control the heating and the heating removal procedure, which means cooling. So regardless if outside is cold weather, warm weather, if it's sun, if it's snow, if it's rain, many people or commercial environments or industrial environments are using heating, ventilation and air conditioning to control the climate inside their premises. You can use a boiler, you can use an air conditioning, there are many ways so you can use it. But today I would like to speak about the boiler system. So what you see, it's a boiler system. Follow the red arrow. That's the main cold water. And now you will see the valves, which helps you to isolate the systems. The pressurization unit, it is meant to control and monitor the pressure. And the bypass, it's meant to charge the system if the pressurization unit is broken. The pressure vessel will maintain the appropriate pressure into the system. And the boiler will heat the heating agent. The pump will circulate the heating agent through the system. And the flow switch will prove that the heating agent is moving through the system. The thermostat in the actuators will control the heat onto the domestic water heater. This is the domestic water heater, and on the top you have the two radiators. Now the manometers are needed so we can monitor the pressure, and the HMI is mirroring the function of the entire system. Finally, the switch will allow us to turn on the system. Now let's turn on the system. We turn on the main cold water, which fills the pressurization unit tank and the bypass. We'll open all the valve and we fill the system by using the bypass not to kill the pumps of the pressurization unit. So when the system it is filled up, then we'll turn off the bypass valve and we'll open the pressurization unit valve. Finally, we turn the power on. Pressurization unit takes over, and look, the pump is turning. You want to bring the pressure to the set point. Once the set point is reached, you'll send the input to the BMS, and then the heating pump will start. And the flow switch will send a signal back to the BMS telling that the heating agent is moving through the system. And now it is safe to turn on the boiler. So after getting this input, the PLC will send an input to the boiler and to all the radiators and all the heaters in demand, telling them that the heating process just start. So the boiler start, and finally the ring circuit got hot. We all know that when you increase the temperature, the pressure tries to increase. That's why the pressure vessel is got a rubber bellow which will shrink, allowing more water to come into the pressure vessel, increasing the installation volume to keep the pressure constant. This is a known thing that pressure works against the volume and vice versa. Now you can start heating your premises. The radiator got hot, the domestic water heater got hot, and this is the way the system should work. But if you're unlucky enough, you might have a water leak, as you'll see somewhere, a steam leak, like water leak, hot water leak. And this is a pretty unpleasant thing to happen to me, to you, or to our customers. Now, the pressurization unit will try to compensate that loss, but pressurization unit is not compensating that type of leak. Normally, pressurization unit will compensate the volume displaced by the air eliminators, because inside the installation sometimes we have methane, people do not maintain the heating agent, and we have all kinds of problems. So pressurization unit will try to compensate. It's got a limited quantity of water to push. Otherwise, if you have a leak through the pipes, you might flood your premises. So I have other videos you can watch and understand how the pressurization works more in details. Now everything works, everything is okay. The pressurization unit will try to compensate 10 times, 50 times. It's got a set point. Now if you're unlucky enough, the rubber bellow will blow up, you'll have a pre-alarm because your pressure gets very high. And then you'll get a real alarm if the pressure gets higher, and the boiler and the pump, everything will be turned off and you will lose the heating. But if another technician will come to your premises and will bypass the alarm and you will start the system, it happened, believe me, the pressure relief valve will start eliminating the extra pressure and you can flood your premises, and that will be pretty unpleasant for you. So this is about heating system which you use in boilers, commercial. This is a small commercial system. I didn't, you can't see the air eliminators on this video, but please just subscribe and look to my other videos if you want to learn more about heating system. Thank you very much, and have a nice weekend.